Hey everyone, and welcome to the Week 11 review, Week 12 preview. As always, I'm joined by Joel Gibson. I am your champion. I am the buzzsaw. I am now number one seed. Thank you very much. I have returned. The cream has risen, Joel Gibson, and I now am back on top of the league. It's been a great week. How are you feeling, Joel?
I feel pretty good, and I think that you should be thanking me for that one seed.
I mean, I am thankful, but it's also you and Phil that took advantage of me while I was injured and really bullied me around. So I won't be thanking either of you.
Yeah, that was fun. I like taking advantage of you.
I'm sure, yeah. Hey, we got to see Wemby today. That was fun.
That was cool.
That was cool. He's very tall. He's very tall. He was standing beside Sam Merrill, and Sam Merrill looked like he was 4 foot tall. It was crazy.
Tristan Thompson's head came to his shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely insane. With that being said, we'll get right into the matchups. The first matchup, your champs matchup. Of course, he takes care of business. The number 2 team, home versus Jake. Jake was the 10 team rolling in. Didn't really set his lineups this week. Now, you and I are both kind of suspicious that he might be tanking here. I don't think it would have mattered if he set his lineups. I took care of business. I didn't have to cycle. Pretty easy win for the champ this week.
Yeah, you took care of business. If you don't set your lineups and you're not ready to play Mr. Modest, you're going to get mowed down.
Absolutely. Next matchup, we have technically an upset in the matchup of the week. Joel Gibson, 7-3, the number 3 team at the number 1 team, Phil, who is 8-2. Joel, what happened in this matchup?
Well, if you remember, back in week 1, Phil beat me, and I said, I'm going to get my fucking revenge. And that's exactly what happened here. I wasn't even fully healthy. And Luka did miss one game, but besides that, Phil was pretty healthy. And we just whipped his ass. That week 1 loss to him, that was an aberration, son. We are fucking coming.
With that, Joel moves to 8-3. Phil moves down to 8-3. Jake is at 3-8, and I am at 9-2. Ooh, that sounds good, Joel Gibson. 9-2? That's a little bit higher than everybody else. Next matchup, we have CJ coming in as the 9 team. He was 4-6 at Adam, 5-5, the number 5 team. Adam wins here, and CJ's in trouble.
CJ is in trouble. Adam is sneaky good. I think he snuck a win against me earlier in the season.
He did, yep.
But his guards can fill it up in a heartbeat, and CJ's in a tough spot. He's got a lot of guys that are either in their prime or past their prime. So, tough week for Siege.
Very tough week indeed. I just, like I said, Adam is just sneaky good. You know, at the beginning of the year, we thought that, me getting DeJounte and Bam in that trade was going to just cook Adam. And he's still continuing to win. He's still middle of the pack. He sneaky good, can fill it up any given week. You just never know. And he has... Yep. I was about to say, he has Greek, so any given week, he can just be like, I'm going to take care of this, and he'll do it by himself. It's crazy.
You know who else has been playing really well for him?
Who's that?
Colin Sexton.
Yeah, well, that's going to end soon. Next matchup, we have Doug, number 8. He was 5-5 against Neiman, the number 4 team, who was 6-4. Doug gets the upset here. Now, before we go into this matchup, I do owe Doug an apology as well. Doug finished last week at 1,010 points, setting the record for the highest scoring week. He let me know on the messenger. It's really tough when we shoot these in the twilight of the actual games and we don't get to see the final scores, and I don't always go back and look through them. So that is my mistake. I missed Phil when he did it, and then I missed Doug when he did it. So I do apologize to both of them. That's a very cool achievement. Yeah, it's just it's one of those things that's really cool to see at the bottom. I don't know why I'm all of a sudden keeping track of this as the highest scoring week, but we're gonna do it from now on. So shout out to Doug. Now get into this matchup. Doug is I don't know what to say about Doug's team other than he continues to surprise me and confuse me every week.
Yeah. Man, some of the guys on his team are playing pretty well, and others are underperforming. Jared Allen looked hella nice today. But
Get Allen 30. Get Allen 30. That's what Joel and I heard for the last 7 minutes of the game today, or 5 minutes or 7 minutes. There was this little 6-8-year-old boy behind us just screaming, give the ball to Allen, get Allen 30, the whole entire second half of the fourth quarter.
they would be on defense, and this kid yelling for them to pass it to Jared Allen.
I know. He was a very big Allen fan for sure. Man, this is a tough loss for Neiman, though, especially when we get into next week and all these tiebreakers. This was a tough one, especially, we'll get into it.
Yeah, good win for Doug, though.
Excellent win for Doug. And now Doug is firmly in the playoff hunt, we'll say, and I might even go out on a limb and say he's going to make the playoffs. Where he falls, I have no idea. But this week coming up is extremely exciting. Next matchup, we have Cody rebounding against Matt. Matt was number 11 coming into this at 2-8. Cody was number 7 at 5-5. Matt's season's cooked. So
Stick a fork in him.
Stick a fork in him. The best record he could put up is 6-9, and that's not getting you in the playoffs.
No. Donovan Mitchell didn't look that good today. He shot 38% for 17 points, and Ja Morant is out again. Yikes.
Yeah. Just a tough season. I think you just kind of chalk this up and try to find a direction for next season. Maybe try to get a little younger, move some assets. We'll see. Also, probably get rid of Jimmy Butler. I don't think he's a regular season asset anymore. I don't know if I've said that to this point. I love the Heat, and I love Jimmy Butler. He will always be Himmy to me, but he's just out too much. He's out too much to be a regular season piece, and most of the time, you got to get to the playoffs in order to play in the playoffs, and that's the biggest thing.
That said, tomorrow we're going to see a trade where Brandon trades 2 picks for Jimmy Butler to Matthew.
That would be funny. That would be funny, though, only because they would be picks for 2027 and 2028, because I don't have picks for 3 years. So, I mean, that offer would be on the table if Matt wants that offer. That would be interesting for sure. I don't know that I want to pay the luxury tax, though, for Jimmy Butler. Last matchup, we have Steven taking care of business at Kyle. Kyle, number 12 team, was 2-8. Steven, number 6 team, at 5-5. This will also eliminate Kyle from contention. 2-9. Best he can do is 6-9. That's not getting you in the playoffs. Matt and Kyle, write them off.
Yeah, it's a good thing that rebuilding team has LeBron.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks really, really good. Hey, give him credit. He did get younger trading Beal away for Kelly Oubre. Not much younger, but younger still.
Well, he did get a pick.
He did get a pick. All right, he got a pick. Fine. I'm sure that's really going to turn into something amazing.
We'll see.
All right, well, that's the end of week 11. We move into week 12. Now, I'm going to start with the champs matchup because we have to, but this is the most boring matchup of the week. It's Kyle, number 12 at 2-9 versus Modest at 9-2, the number 1 seed. Oh, back where he's supposed to be. I'm going to go ahead and pick me here. I don't care if Kyle goes on the wire to, try to get back at me for all the shit I've been talking and stuff like that. I'll cycle his ass out too. I don't care. I am going to win this matchup, and I'm going to get my 10th win of the season. First 1 to 10 wins, baby. Woo!
Yeah, it sucks that you're going to be first to 10, but I also am going to pick you. This is not the matchup where you're going to get upset.
All right, well, I'm going to actually cover the other 2 kind of boring matchups first, and then we're going to get into this 6-5 debacle that is the other 3 matchups. Phil at Matt. Phil's going to win this matchup. Phil, number 2 team, only because he has points over Joel. That's the only separator between the 2, total points. And Matt, number 11, at 2-9. Phil gets his 9th win here pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be crazy if Matt somehow played spoiler to Phil and beat him while being the home team. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'd be a big fan,
but... next boring matchup is Jake at CJ. Jake's number 10, CJ's number 9. Jake is 3-8, CJ is 4-7. CJ is 2 games outside of the playoffs right now with 4 to go. A loss to Jake here will essentially eliminate him from contention. I don't think it's going to happen. CJ probably wins this matchup, especially if Jake is in fact tanking as we suspect. That being said, it would be funny as hell if the new guy came in and just was like, you know what? I'm setting my lineups against CJ. Here it comes. And he just knocks him out. It would be ridiculous.
It would be ridiculous, but I think CJ is going to be okay. And he's going to live to fight another day.
I agree. At least he won't be formally eliminated with 3 to go. He'll be down, he can gain a game against at least 2 of these people, maybe even 3. Now, the reason I just want to do all 3 of these matchups kind of at the same time, we have 5 teams that are at 6-5, 4 through 8. And I want to start off by saying I hate the way I have these ranked on my power rankings. I couldn't come up with a good way to do it because the tiebreakers are just so crazy and all over the place. So, Cody, Doug, well, I'll put them in order. Neiman, Steven, Cody, Adam, Doug. Those are your 5 teams that I have in 4 through 8 order, okay? Now, Joel, you play Neiman, who I have at 4. The reason why is I have Neiman... I went through these and I have them all written down, so I'm not going to read them all off. You're just going to have to trust me here. Neiman actually has tiebreakers against 3 of the 4 teams. He only lost to Doug, and that was this last week. So I put Neiman at the 4. It'll be interesting because I think next week you'll see these in a lot different order because there's a lot of things that can happen. Like, for example, I think Joel's going to beat Neiman this week, so he'll automatically fall down to 6 next week. But this was just a comfortable way to do it. Also, the other 2 matchups have already played each other once. So then you got to look into, well, who has the tiebreakers in those matchups, and we'll get there. But, Joel, your matchup versus Neiman, like I said, I'm going to pick you here.
I'm going to pick me as well. I am a little banged up. Franz Wagner took an injury, and so did Zion, but I think the Franz one is a little bit longer term. But I think we will see Fultz come back this week, and I think it's going to be just fine.
Wait, did you say Zion was injured?
He has a quadriceps injury. Yes.
What happened? Did he just get out of bed? Did somebody give him a Charlie horse or something?
Yeah, I think it's just like a bruise.
Oh, okay. So he's out 3 weeks then for sure.
He's gonna be fine.
Okay, just checking. How many games has he played for you this year? Do you know that number off the top of your head?
I don't.
Has he reached 15 yet?
I could look.
All right. You look, and I'm going to get started on the next matchup. Now, the reason why I had Steven at 5 here is, number one, Steven beat Adam in their first matchup. And he's the home team here. It was really hard for me to put Steven lower, despite him taking losses to Neiman. Obviously, he's below Neiman. But, yeah, him beating Adam in the first place, kind of gives him a leg up here. Now, I think I'm going to pick Adam over Steven here. I think I'm going to. It's really tough, and that's why, because, like, for me, if I was doing my regular power rankings, if I was going to pick Adam over Steven, I wouldn't have ranked Steven over Adam. But technically, Steven is ranked over Adam because of the tiebreaker. Like, all of these tiebreakers really make things hard to, like, pick. But I'm still going to pick Adam to win here. And like I said, I think this might change up the power rankings for next week. But this is a nomination for a game of the week, in my opinion. All three of these games, really, could be matchups of the week, I should say, not game of the week.
Yeah, I also am going to pick Adam. He's been kind of on fire lately. Steven's been really active on the wires, so that could be the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to have his work cut out for him this week.
Absolutely. And then the last matchup is you have number 6 Cody at number 8 Doug. And Doug has been so on fire lately, I felt wrong having him at 8. But again, I can't put him over Cody because he beat Cody, or Cody beat him. And also, I believe, let me see here. Yeah, Cody beat Doug as well. Adam beat Doug. Like, a lot of the other teams that are at 6 and 5 already beat Doug and have the tiebreaker against him. So it's really hard for me to put him up there. And it was just really tough for me this week. Either way, I'm going to actually pick Doug to win this matchup.
I hate agreeing with you, but Doug also, he's been really good without ball somehow. So I'm also going to pick Doug.
I know. Normally when we get on the Doug bandwagon, it kind of like falls off the rails. So this could be a situation where that happens. So maybe he doesn't want us to pick him. But shout out to Doug. He's keeping things interesting there at the bottom.
Agreed.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. Anything else, Joel?
30 games for Zion.
30 games played. You're shitting me.
Not shitting you. I want to look at the Pelicans record to make sure it wasn't just how many games they had played. But no, it's 30 games for Zion. So double what you asked.
That's fucking wild. I did not. I wouldn't have. You could have given me the over 20 and I still wouldn't have taken it. That's insane.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself, sir.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody at the end of next week. Happy New Year to everybody. I think this is the first time we say that. So shout out to everyone, and I'm glad to be the number 1 seed. I know Joel loved giving that back to me. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Bye, guys.